let's talk about our stay at All Star Sports, the luxurious All Star Sports.
All right.
Now, we've stayed at All Stars before. We just, for some strange reason, we realized, like, I thought we had stayed here, and then we got to talking, and we realized we had actually never stayed at sports specifically. We've been to sports, and again, if you've ever been to any of the All Stars, they're all very, very similar.
Well, we're going to talk about that in just a minute, sir.
So, but this is technically our first All Star Sports day.
To be fair, the first time we went to Disney together, we stayed at All Star Movies.
Yes.
So it holds a special place. All Star Movies holds a special place.
But I believe the reason I thought we stayed over there is because I believe where we stayed at movies, it was right next to sports. Aren't they right next to each other?
No. Sports and music are next to each other.
Well, as you can see, the sports, the All Stars are very unique in that I thought that the one next to us
You're
was
like,
sports,
I don't know where I am.
Oh, it's because we stayed in the Mighty Ducks section. That's what had me mixed up. I think
and you thought it was like hockey.
I forever thought we had stayed at sports, and then I realized it was movies. But
that's probably why I thought that too. I don't know. It's been a while.
I mean, I even did the Flying V and all that stuff.
But anyway, so we did stay there. We stayed there for just one night, and we paid I think it was 120 something a night.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a decent price, and we're like, okay, we'll try it out and see what we do. But.
Yes. So we can go very granular here and talk about what Disney specifically says about describing All-Star Sports.
Well, let me tell you, Jared.
Can I say the first part?
Go for it.
Get in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's an EA Sports thing.
Get in the game at this resort hotel that salutes the world of competitive sports, including baseball, basketball, football, surfing, and tennis.
No pickleball?
No pickleball. Jeez. Sorry. Go the distance and don't be afraid to celebrate your inner fan amid sporty decor starring some of your favorite Disney characters.
Yes. Go the distance.
Go the distance.
That is a funny way to put. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
Just use a bunch of sports things.
But All Star. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say that?
No, go ahead.
So, like we were talking about, All Star Sports is basically one of 3 All Star Resort sections, and these are located, just 5 minutes maybe from Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, not long at all.
And it has the busiest McDonald's right down the road. Right there.
It's not terrible in terms of being busy. Depends on when you go.
But it said, like, in general, it's the busiest McDonald's in the country.
I mean, it could be because it's right next. I mean, it's right next to Disney hotels.
Think about all the sports groups and the school groups and music groups that are there.
We stopped by there in Native couple. I mean, I'm not big on McDonald's, but it's kind of nice to have that there because there was one of the days you were hungry and I was hungry. And so I just ran over there and got, like, chicken nuggets and a couple of burgers. And
the nicest lady ever at the window. Remember when we went one time? She was like, "You have a great day." Like everything was amazing to her, and I was like, "I'm gonna have a great day." No, thank you.
I just want to remind you that was one lady.
It was one lady.
I know.
What? That's what.
No, I'm just saying. Most of the time, you don't get that at McDonald's.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes,
you know what though?
But
she
you always
loved her job.
But you always get that at Chick-fil-A. They always tell me
this is not a promotion for
I know.
Chick-fil-A.
I'm just saying when I compare the two, I'm always like, she was really nice. Wait, always get that when I go to Chick-fil-A. Anyways.
Oh my gosh.
But yes, it is
right.
that McDonald's right there, and it's nice from a lot of ways because obviously I'm not big on fast food, but I think it's a step above, and we'll talk about some of the quick service food you can get. Mm-hmm. I would probably say I would rather personally have like McDonald's versus the quick service options that you get at Values and things like that. But it also very dependent upon if you have a car.
I mean, well, yeah.
It's hard to get there. I mean, I'm sure you could probably do Uber Eats or something like that as well. But
True. So it is in the value resort hotel category, and rack rate prices start in the low to mid $100 per night range. I think we were talking about whenever they had the promotion come over for like the Florida residents and for annual pass holders for the beginning of 2024. And we were seeing below $100 a night. So with discounts, you can get these, pretty cheap. So
yeah,
it's pretty nice. But yeah, so yeah, it's a value resort, and just like the other value resorts, this one has 3 I think 3 stories, motel style buildings. There's a central pool, there's a food court, and there's a registration area, and that's how most of them are. The room buildings are arranged into 5 sections. There is Surf's Up, that's the surfing one, Hoops Hotel, basketball, Center Court, tennis, Touchdown, football, Home Run Hotel, hockey. No, just kidding. Baseball.
Close.
I got my sports right. So anyways, that's a general thoughts or general information about All-Star Sports.
Yeah, and much like if you've seen the All-Stars, the theming is giant things. So like in the basketball section,
how tall were those?
this is interesting. They were real basketball goals, but they were 30 feet in the air, and they had real nets. Because our daughter was asking me, and I'm like, "That's a real net. Like you technically could play basketball on it, but that's a long ways up there." But they had those, and they had big, giant like basketball rims and balls all around that area.
Oh, yeah.
But all of them have the cool thing. I think the coolest one, the baseball section's interesting because that one has a pool as part of the center. So when you go back there to the baseball one,
Yeah, there's a pool.
it's
back
in a
there.
corner. So the pool is in the shape of a baseball diamond,
Right.
kind of. And then
Right.
Goofy is like pitching to like Goofy's in the center, like using a water cannon. But around it, it's got like bleachers and scoreboards and like dugouts. That one's pretty cool. And the fact that, again, it's like a quiet pool back there. The football one actually has a football field in the middle. And the tennis one I was confused by. It has a tennis court in there, but it's got Donald Duck and Huey, Dewey, and Louie. But Donald has a tennis racket. Huey, Dewey, and Louie are playing baseball. So I couldn't figure out.
What?
Yeah, you'll see. We'll have a vlog about this as well.
Okay,
Like
well,
just-
yeah, Jared did all that.
but
part,
I couldn't figure out if it was them being like Huey, Dewey, and Louie were being silly, or whoever did it just didn't recognize that it was a tennis
I would
court.
hope it's supposed to be on
But
purpose.
I was a little confused by it. I couldn't figure out what it was. But either way, those are there. So,
Okay.
and they're honestly in those areas are really cool areas for like kids could run around. And also, this is where one thing that's infamous about the All Star, especially sports, is this is where like cheer groups stay.
Yes.
Things like that. So this is where they practice, which is, so a lot of people know about these things. But I will say, I think the baseball one was, in terms of like a value resort, I thought that was pretty cool, like the way that was set up. But yeah,
It appeals to our children. Our kids loved it. They love looking at all that stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, awesome.
And Surf's Up is currently under construction because they're refurbing all the rooms. So that's the last section. So that one currently you couldn't stay there, but it's giant surfboards.
Yeah, it's and we'll talk about it a little bit more about like it's building 1 of the buildings at All Star Sports. So
yes, but all right, let's talk. Do you want to talk about the rooms?
yeah,
All right, so we were in
the basketball.
Hoops
Yep.
Hotel. So I mean, layout and design similar to what you find in other value resorts. Each room is around 260 square feet. Sleeps 4. There are some king rooms though.
There's some accessible rooms that are kings.
I don't know how many, but
I don't know how many either.
most
but
of the
there's
time
some.
you'll find 2 queens.
Yeah.
One being a Murphy bed pullout, which again I'm a fan of. I like that setup. And then I'm trying to think. You got standard rooms. There are preferred rooms. Preferred sections are buildings 1, 6, 7, and 10, which are Surf's Up and Touchdown sections. And then during our stay, let's see, like I said, they were renovating building 1, which is Surf's Up.
But that was only so Surf's Up has two. Basically, there's 2 buildings per section, and so the other side, the other Surf's Up section, so it was building 6, is completely open and people were staying in it. But building 1, I think, was completely shut down and they were just renovating it.
Oh, they're renovating the whole thing.
Yes.
There was nobody staying in there because they were heavy construction.
Yes, because in case you're unaware, so I think they started like 2 years ago.
It's been going a while.
For the all stars in general, all the movies, the music, and sports. And of course, it's been slow with COVID and everything. But they finished movies first, then music, and then they're finally finishing sports. But they all look, like you're saying, they all look the same. There's no difference in theming in the room. It shows music, movies, and sports in like the headboard, like the design of the headboard and the chairs.
have the same thing.
The
only
light,
difference is on the Murphy bed, the theming.
it's not. It's the same.
I thought it had a sports theme on.
It has all 3. on the back.
Oh, that's what
yeah,
it is.
it's
Okay.
fine. I mean, it's fine. It's
Well,
just they're all the same.
I'm sure they do that because it's easier. It's interchangeable and do it that way. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. When you're in the room, there's no way you could really know which resort you're at.
Right. Unless you look at the TV or something.
That or looking out the window. They all
Right.
essentially look the same.
Yeah, and that's fine. And like you said, you love the Murphy bed. You know, it's got queen beds. They used to be 2 double beds.
Right.
So having the 2 queen beds now is nice. But it does kind of decrease the amount of extra space you have around the beds. So I'm okay with that because if the Murphy bed is up and the table is out with the chairs, I feel like I have a lot of room.
Yeah, and it gives the kids a place to like sit. And,
Yeah.
like our kids like sit there and eat a snack and watch something on TV or whatever. So
Yeah.
I feel like it just gives you, I don't know if it's the illusion. It does give you more space, but it doesn't make you feel as cramped when you're in there.
I feel like it gives you more of not available space, more usable space.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, same thing with the bathroom, all the same. You know, you've got the sink, you've got a lot of shelf space. The closet area, I would say area because there's no door or anything. You just have like a little cubby on the bottom and some hangers and a little bar. I mean, like not a lot of space there.
Yeah.
And then the shower, you can do just a shower. I think they have a few that are tub and shower combos. We had a tub shower combo, but it's a pretty small space in there. But it does have a separate door to like the sink from the toilet and the shower, and then the whole bathroom is separated by a pocket door. So
yes,
which is nice.
Which you will find in all of those
Everywhere.
All-Star. So nothing unique about them. So I mean, I don't think there's anything really to say about the rooms that we've talked about before. They're very basic. They're fine. I personally think they're too hospital roomy, too white.
They're pretty
for my personal take. They're just not enough.
Sterile. They're sterile.
Yeah, it's just like I get they're going more contemporary, but at the same time too, they just lose their character a bit. But they're functional. They work. I mean, they're clean. The beds are comfortable. That's one thing I've always said about the Disney hotels is the beds are very comfortable.
Yes,
and so that's something that is very nice. Even the Murphy bed is just as comfortable.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely.
You can get hopefully a good night's sleep and all that stuff.
Yep. And I will say before we move on from the rooms, they did not have a smart TV in the rooms. It was just the regular TVs they usually have, and it had the old resort TV stuff.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't watch TV that much, especially when we're in the rooms. But
I do turn it on because I do like to see that. I do the resort TV. So.
Our kids get weird out because they're just like, wait, we can't just skip ads? I'm like, no, they're just used to, they're not used to like regular TV. They're like, what is this?
I'm like, Bluey's on. She's like, oh, and then it went to commercial. She's like, can we fast forward? I was like, nope. Nope.
It's like our daughter, we were watching old like Ninja Turtles shows. And, using the shows, they built in commercial breaks. And then she, like one of them, they showed the thing and went to a commercial thing. And she's like, wait, what are these? I'm like, well, honey, okay. So I was explaining to her when I was a kid, you had to wake up. If you wanted to watch Ninja Turtles, like you had to watch that at that time, or you probably would never see that episode again until you're like in your 20s or 30s, whenever you can stream it again. Like it was just gone forever.
Yep.
So I was just like, and then you sat through commercials and then you couldn't, she's like, you couldn't fast forward? I'm like, no, you just had to wait. She's just like, so, I mean, from her perspective, she's just like, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah.
You literally had to make an appointment to watch something on TV.
What's wild is when you think about it, it's like if you missed an episode of some show of yours, you very well, like, when can I see this again? Who knows?
Unless
one of your friends was like, I recorded it on a tape, and you're like, oh my goodness. But for the most part, it's like it's just gone in the ether.
Now to be fair, this is when we were younger kids. This isn't like the early 2000s or whatever.
For sure, I know.
This is like early 90s stuff we're talking about, and we are old.
Hey,
we are old.
You know
I am dating us right now.
The 90s was awesome. So
I'm not saying it wasn't awesome. I'm just saying.
Anyways,
we could move on from the
way to age us, Jamie.
I'm sorry.
Technically,
people know.
All right.
People know.
All right. Well, I don't look a day over 39. All right. Moving on. Anything else you want to add about the room?
No.
Okay. We'll talk about Stadium Hall.
Okay.
Which is you got your food, check-in, all that stuff.
Just check-in areas there, concierge. You got the arcade, Game Point. Arcade.
Game Point.
Which we did spend some time in there.
Kids love arcades.
They really do.
They actually, to their defense, we usually don't really put much on a card. We have in the past. A lot of times they just go play in there. Just like I think they like the lights and the noises.
Well, our son does. Our daughter's like, I want to play this. I'm like,
by the way,
expensive.
I don't know how our son did this. He went up to a game and we didn't have any money on cards. He just started pushing buttons. Like, he's just playing. All of a sudden, he's actually playing. And nobody went up to anything. I don't know if he hit a secret code, but he was playing a game and I didn't put a thing into it. Nobody else did. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Good job, buddy.
You hacked it. I don't know how.
There's a Sport Goofy Gifts and Sundries, which is like the gift shop. They've got the stuff you find, like the basic clothes and spare jerseys and ears, but they also have like food, like grab and go items and stuff like that.
Thank you for that description.
You're welcome. There's also In Zone Food Court, which we did eat there the night that we stayed there, and we got chicken tenders and fries. We got a Mickey pumpkin cheesecake, which was really good. It was like a moussey cheesecake. It was so good, and then a honey barbecue pork sandwich. So, and honestly, it was decent. The cheesecake was good. Chicken tenders were fine. Honey barbecue pork sandwich was pretty good. So
okay,
decent food. But they have stuff like, I mean, they serve breakfast, so they've got the basic breakfast stuff. But they had a whole, I forgot what they were calling it, but it's for the Hispanic Heritage Month for September. They had a whole separate menu for that.
Did they have a or what do they call the burritos? Carne asada. Is that what they had?
I don't know if they had carne asada. I can't
burritos
remember. But they have, pollo guisado, chicken adobe nachos. They had those. Chicken sandwiches, cheeseburgers, meatball subs, pepperoni pizza, pasta, hot dogs, salads. It's basically, it's food court stuff.
Okay.
Not too bad.
I didn't try any of this because this is the night I went to Halloween Horror Nights. So you ate the food.
I did.
But I've had the quick service food here. Some of them have little things that are different. For the most part, they serve the same stuff.
Yeah. And then there's also Grandstand Spirits Pool Bar, which is kind of a pass-through pool bar from the end zone food court to outside by the pool.
You can sit on the inside and then you can sit on the outside.
You sure can. You
could confuse that bartender and they'd be like, you were just inside. But yeah, it's not very big.
No, there's a couple chairs on each side.
But really, I've never seen that many people there, which again, resort, the values, typically it's families, so you're not going to see a lot of people.
Yeah.
At night, I will say you'll see more. I think once the kids go to bed, some of the
right.
The parents get out there a little bit, but
exactly.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's talk about the recreation that is available here.
Okay.
Or a recreational.
Okay. Well, you don't have to say it like that. That's fine.
I was trying to be proper.
Okay.
Say
whatever.
it like it's a carne asada burrito.
Okay.
I just wanted to roll my R's.
It's fine. Okay. There's a surfboard bay pool, which is in between surf subsection. That's the feature pool, and they do have pool activities and games in the afternoon there. Our daughter did every single one for the 2 hours that we were at the pool.
She did.
And
the cast members knew her very well.
Yes, they did. And
they
she loves doing
like
that stuff.
Limbo, trivia, they'll hide stuff. Like, I think at one point they're just making up things to do. Because they had a small group. It was like, our daughter made friends with a little girl. And there's like maybe 5 or 6 of them that kept doing it. And then they would just be like, I really think at one point they were just, just thinking of things to do. But in the past, when we've stayed, I don't know if they did the values, but we stayed at Wilderness Lodge. They did a big game of they would get a beach ball. And it was like, basically playing keepy uppy in the pool, but you try and beat a number. That was actually kind of fun because then they get a bunch of people to hop in.
They tried to do that at All-Star Sports, and it didn't go very far. She was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, you need like a group. What made it work at Wilderness Lodge was you had a group of like adults and kids.
Right. This was just littles.
Littles is hard, yeah.
But we've been trying to actually do the pool more when we stay at Disney hotels and be there in the afternoon so she can do these activities because she loves them so much. So the last 3 times we stayed at a hotel at Disney, Wilderness Lodge was in July. Mm-hmm. August, we stayed at Caribbean Beach. And same thing, she did the activities there.
Yeah.
And then here at All-Star Sports. So she loves them. She's a good age for them. 7. So
yes. Yeah. I would say so.
And then there's also the Grand Slam pool, like Jared was talking about. That's in the baseball section. But just FYI, if you are staying at any of the hotels, the All-Star resorts, you can use any of the All-Star resort pools. So if you're staying at music, you can use sports pools. If you're staying at movies, you can use music.
It's a lot of work, though.
I mean, there is a trail. There's a jogging trail that connects all of the resorts together. So you can walk from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some, I think between music, because music is in the middle, like they basically share parking lots.
Yeah, they
so
do.
like this, like, so I guess it's baseball and tennis on that side shares their lot with, what's over on that side? Rock and roll and
I can't remember the section, but
country fair or something over there.
something, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so there you go.
Yeah, and the quiet pool there's no frills to it, but it's very quiet over there. When I was there was like nobody in there.
All right.
There were lifeguards just talking to each other. I mean, they were like doing their job, but
Right.
they were like having conversations across the way because like there was nobody in the water. So it's much quieter over there.
Yeah.
But I will say this resort's not huge, so it's not. It actually isn't like the walk to the baseball section over there from the lobby is not far.
Right.
It's kind of a very like it's not that spread out, but
Right.
they also have kids playground, which is actually really nice. It's got it's fairly new.
Sand bottom.
Yeah, so they have a campfire, movie under the stars, and there are some resort activities. There's the wellness scavenger hunt, arts and crafts, like they'll tie-dye shirts, make bracelets, stuff like that. Spooky bash block party.
That's just, I mean, it's probably themed to whatever the season is, but that's going on, like, I think it's every Wednesday
This
at
is
the
like
pool.
a dance party.
I guess it was like it's kind of like, well, they have a glow party too they do at the pool, and they get like glow sticks and all that stuff. But
Okay. Then there's an arcade tournament. That would be fun. And then there's video games at the pool as well.
yeah, on the big screen you play video games.
That's pretty cool.
I know. I was like, oh, that's fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
But they weren't doing it whenever we were there, because we were there Thursday night to a Friday morning, and they weren't doing it that day. So
I mean,
was
what
just on a
kind
Saturday.
of games are they playing?
I have no clue.
Playing some first person shooters because I'll take on some kids.
No, I
Just
don't
saying.
know.
Anyways. All right, but that's all of the activities there, and I think that for the most part covers. I mean, we have bus transportation. You have buses.
Oh yeah, you do have bus transportation only. No monorails or boats or Skyliners over there.
Yeah,
So-
I will say driving. We took our car. We drove. Getting into All Stars is not always the easiest because there's one checkpoint to get in, but it gets you into all of them. So everybody's coming into the first checkpoint. So basically, like if you go to that McDonald's and you just turn left out of there, you drive right into the security gate for the All Star resorts. But a lot of times there will be, I think multiple times I saw 10, 15 cars
So
deep.
many cars.
And so if you go into the part, so the buses and the returning guests go in the same lane.
Right.
But the problem is, and the security guard told me this, so when you pull up, you'll see a sections for like movies, sports, and music, and you put your Magic Band up to which one you're staying at. But the problem with them is they don't work very well.
No, they're glitchy.
And they know they don't work very well. So you have to really like, I mean, there's a couple times I'm just sitting there waving it like a maniac and it finally works. Or somebody just let me in. I don't know which one.
Right.
But I will say if you're driving in, that's a downside to it because like that thing gets so busy at certain times. But
Right.
just
Right.
keep that in mind if you're driving in. But yeah, I think everything else, I think we covered everything else.
I mean, you didn't stay there that night, so you don't really have
Well,
much
I've
to say.
slept in a all-star room before, though. I don't really think I checked out. I was there for everything else but sleeping in the room. Mm-hmm. I don't really think it changes my
No, I mean
view of it more. But
right.
what did you think overall? Like compared, I guess, to the other values, other all-stars, anything different, like all that.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna blow smoke here.
You're not going to blow
I'm not
smoke.
gonna blow smoke here.
That is, I just want to say thank you. I'm so glad.
While I do think that this hotel is it serves a lot of guests for certain reasons, like you said, like school groups and sports, a lot of groups that come in and do it. If you've got families that, are on a like a hotel budget, they want to stay like as cheap as they can. All-star resorts are a good option for that. This is a no frills resort. So there's very limited amount of activities you can do. Like we said, the rooms are basic. There's not a lot going on, which is fine. And it's great for the families or the guests that really just want a place to sleep and shower and maybe occasionally go to the pool, like just not spend a lot of time in their hotel room, just like a place to like lay down your head for the night, and then just in the parks all day. Like I really think that for me, staying there would serve that function for me personally.
Yeah.
Because again, no frills, no blowing smoke. If I had to rank all my resorts from my most favorite to my least favorite, this is unfortunately my least favorite.
Even out of all the All-Stars?
Out of movies and music, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is, again, the thing is, I don't hate it. Like, I don't hate the All-Stars, but I wouldn't choose to stay here at a value. Like, if I'm staying at a value, I would choose Pop Century.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Because again, Pop Century is closer to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. You've got the Skyliner, and so I would choose. Yeah, like I said, I would choose Pop Century.
Okay.
So, what do you think? What do you think about the whole?
I've talked about in the past. I'm not a big fan of motel style hotels in general. I don't like exterior facing doors. So for that reason, I already go in kind of like and all that. I probably would agree. This one, I think sports, I would venture to guess, is the smallest one out of all of them. It felt smaller. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It just felt a little smaller. I don't know. I think I would probably say music is my least favorite one compared. I probably like sports second maybe to movies, just because movies has some of the cool props. They've got the Toy Story area, things like that. So, but again, it is an all-star. It was basically exactly what I was expecting it to be. Like you said, no frills, pretty basic. I think you would stay here obviously because you can get a good rate. You're still on property. You can take advantage of early entry and things like that, and in the transportation options. So I agree. If I was looking to stay at a value, I would choose Pop Century if it's possible. But I think it's one of those things like staying at a value versus other ones. It's like, what are you planning to do on your trip?
Right.
If you're just going to be going, like you said, values are fine. You can go in there and sleep and maybe get a bite to eat, go to bed, all that stuff like that. It serves you well. So, I probably would put this, it's not one of my top tier ones. I'd probably put this, I would just say in the middle of the All-Stars. I liked some of the sports theming. I like I think it depends on where you stay. The basketball section we were at was okay in the theming. It was kind of odd. I think the football section would be pretty cool because I think our kids would go out there and play. Like, you could literally take a football out there and play.
Yeah.
Like, you could throw a football around and like stuff like that. So I think, and it's got it's an area where you can get littles, they could run around because it's got that fake grass that's really soft out there.
Oh yeah.
So, I liked it more than music, I will say.
Okay.
I think music is my least favorite.
Okay.
Of all of them, but
okay.
About what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be like knocking down doors, going crazy to stay here again. But if you can get this for under $100,
oh yeah,
if you can get this in the low 100s, that's a pretty good deal.
Do it, yeah.
And it obviously depends on your trip and your budget, but I would say that's probably a pretty I would take advantage of that if you could do that, if that's what you're looking to do. So,
yep.
Yeah. I mean, nothing underwhelmed me about it because I didn't go into it expecting to be like, wow. You know what I mean? So
no. It's not like we are unfamiliar with this.
Right. And nothing about it like wowed me. Like I know what to expect from the All-Stars. So I think going into that, like I was very content. Like I didn't, it's like the food is what it is. The lobby is what it is. Like they're all very consistent in that way. So in that way, it's just like, yeah, it's fine. Like,
yep.
Clean bed. Again, I think the biggest feature when it comes to this is like, if you were looking at staying here versus off property, again, are you driving? Mm-hmm. Lots of factors. But one factor that is to keep in mind, and one thing we've talked about, we love like Jury Inns and Suites.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that place. But I will say, honestly speaking, Disney beds are more comfortable.
They are. They
And
are.
so
They really are.
And when it comes to like, if you're looking to stay 5 nights or something like that, as much as I love Jury, those beds are not the most comfortable in the world. And so, you're
and a lot of other places aren't either.
a lot of places are like
Yep.
that. So it's like having a comfortable, clean bed, location, that has a price tag on a level. So I think for what you're getting, even if it's in the low 100s, like, hey, a good night's sleep on a trip can help you out. Because again, like you talked
Definitely.
about, a lot of people end up getting sick when they get home from their vacations. And
Yep.
one of the reasons being is it's a lot of reasons. You're exposed to a lot of people and germs, but a lot of it is people don't sleep that well. So you
Right.
get run down a little bit. So getting sleep on your vacation is nothing to really like. I actually think it's undervalued. I think people don't
Yeah.
really think about that enough.
Right.
So that is something that they have going for them that potentially offsite you may not have.
Yep.
I just thought I would mention that because it just came to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, all right, that's all I've got though.
Okay.